Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. A Weatherly couple has been indicted by a federal grand jury on conspiracy, bank fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering charges. Between October 2022 and May of 2023, Christian Lee Cosgrove and Brian Cosgrove allegedly conspired to defraud financial institutions which possessed money from an estate and from a 93-year-old individual. A total amount is estimated at around $1 million. The indictment states they spent the money from the fraud wire transactions on personal items such as a house, boat, vehicle, vacations, and to pay off debt. The couple is facing up to 30 years in jail for the charges of bank fraud and up to 20 years for wire fraud. Daniel Ryman officially stepped into the role as mayor of Cunningham during a swearing-in ceremony at Tuesday night's council meeting. Ryman, a Republican, was the only candidate on the primary ballot for either party on the May 20th election. He was already appointed earlier this year to finish out former Mayor Tricia Marnell's term. Marnell resigned from her position in May. Ryman brings a long history of public service to the role, including 24 years as a flight paramedic and the borough's Crime Watch program. He currently works as the Teleburn representative for the Lehigh Valley Burn Center in Allentown. His elected 4-year term begins in 2026. Big tech investments are coming to Pennsylvania, with major impacts expected in the Northeast. Recently, President Donald Trump announced more than $90 billion in private funding for AI and data centers developed. One company, Blackstone, plans to spend $25 billion and has already selected several sites in Pennsylvania. Amazon is also planning to invest at least $20 billion to develop cloud computing and AI facilities across the state. 2 key sites have already been selected, one in Luzerne County and one in Bucks County, with the potential for more to follow. Supporters say these projects could bring in thousands of jobs and make Pennsylvania a key player in the growing AI industry. The Hazleton Government Study Commission discussed establishing bylaws and the importance of transparency during its Tuesday meeting at City Hall. The commission voted unanimously to use consulting services from the Pennsylvania Economy League, then voted to allow Sean Loxton from Karpowich Law Firm to serve as the commission's solicitor. Following the open meetings law, Loxton advised to put forth bylaws determining how the commission will run and reviewed ways to keep the meetings accessible to the public, such as live streamings, keeping meeting minutes, and a notice of time or venue change. Loxton also encouraged the committee to appoint a right-to-know officer for the right-to-know requests made by the public. The Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education voted to increase tuition rates for the first time in 7 years. It will increase $139 per semester. This increase comes after 7 consecutive years of frozen tuition rates. The PASSHE Board of Governors said they would roll back the rate if the state provides sufficient funding as part of the current state budget negotiations. They're requesting a 6.5% increase in state funding to maintain flat tuition for students. This tuition plan balances student affordability with long-term financial health of the university system. The board must set tuition by this week to confirm, so students, families, and universities have time to prepare for the fall semester. Coming up on WYLN News, the summer concert series is back this weekend. Plus, troopers teach kids all there is to know about police enforcement at Camp Cadet. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Care mean better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
Hi, my name is Melania. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
On this week's show, Mary Haldeman's going to tell her story. A lot of painful arthritis, not better from other doctors, but gentle chiropractic care makes her feel much better. So tune in the show and hear Mary's story.
Attention, WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. These new cadets may still be a bit too young for real patrols with the state police, but they are eager to learn.
Right now we just did a shooting range here, and then we went on a run this morning, which was really nice. Since I was like a kid, I always wanted to be a police officer, and as I grew older, I wanted to join the military. So when I was younger, I found out this camp, and I finally got in, so that's why I joined this camp to do this, yeah.
Camp Cadet is an annual program organized by the Pennsylvania State Police's Troop N. Kids from all around the area, ages 12 to 15, learn what it takes to be a first responder.
So today here at the Troop N Camp Cadet program, we have rotations going on. There's 4 different stations, so a platoon is at each station. Behind us is the traffic stop, so every cadet will be able to perform their own realistic made-up traffic stop. So the reason why I say that is because we like to make it a plausible situation. We want them to learn. Well, we go through some of the tactics, and we also want them to realize the unknown that every police officer is walking up to. We also have the Pocono Mountain Regional Bearcat vehicle. That's their SWAT tactical vehicle. So they get to sit inside of it. They get to see it, see all the cool tools inside of it. On the other side of the gym, we have a use of force simulator. So cadets get to shoot guns that only shoot lasers at a screen in a use of force situation. It's fun for them, but it also teaches them how quick things can happen and how quickly a scenario can change. And then we have a crime scene that was prepared by the Troop N Forensic Services Unit, where they have to try to collect evidence and figure out what happened, and also fingerprinting. So cadets get to try to lift a fingerprint off of an item as if they were processing an actual crime scene.
In addition to the state police, the campers will work with representatives from the U.S. Army, Medivac, local fire and EMS, dive teams, and many others. Camp Cadet runs until the end of the week at the Penn State Hazleton campus. For more information about the camp or about applying for next summer, visit www.troopncampcadet.com. Berwick is turning back the clock this weekend with its 8th annual World War II weekend at Test Park on South Eaton Street. This annual 3-day event is free and runs from Friday through Saturday, featuring battle reenactments, military vehicles including 4 Stuart tanks, vendors, and live entertainment. A special showing of the 1968 movie The Devil's Brigade will take place Friday night at the Berwick Theater. Saturday evening brings a 1940s swing dance to the West Side Ballroom from 6 to 9. Proceeds from the weekend's event support the Stuart Tank Memorial Association. The Native American organization, the Wyoming Trail Council of Pennsylvania's Native Americans, will be hosting a powwow on July 19th and 20th at Camp Rotawani's in Drums. It will be open to the public and will run from 10 a.m. till a time to be discussed on Saturday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Grand entry at noon both days. American Indians of different tribes will be representing their style by dancing and wearing beautiful regalia associated with tribal customs. There will be old traditional style, social, and many more dances throughout the day. Native American vendors will be selling handcrafts such as blankets, jewelry, furs, knives, and art. There will be food vendors and a tomahawk throw. There will be no drugs or alcohol permitted on the grounds. For more information, contact Robin Summerbird Hoffman at 888-436-2390. The 7th annual Rockin' the River Summer Concert Series returned last weekend, July 11th, with headliner Zozo, the ultimate Led Zeppelin experience with opening act Flaky Morgan at the Millennium Circle at River Common in Wilkes-Barre. This Saturday we'll be headlining Maybe I'm Amazed, a tribute to Paul McCartney, with opening act Tori V and The Karma, which have never performed at the music series before. Gates will open at 5 p.m. and music runs from 6 till 9 p.m. There will be food vendors and beverages from the Susquehanna Brewing Company and Bank & Wine. The Rodeo Riders kicked off Tuesday night in Columbia County. Every summer, the Benton Rodeo grounds transform into a national stage for riders. This year, they are celebrating 4 decades of tradition. It is open for everyone, and it welcomes first-timers to national qualifiers. Riders come from all over the U.S., Canada, and Australia for this rodeo. Riders say crowd support makes a real difference, especially for young competitors. The Benton Rodeo continues through Sunday. Proceeds go back into the region, supporting scout troops, fire companies, and local charities throughout the year. Coming up on Freeland's News Choice, Wyln historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history in Part 2 of Montgomery. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know Wyln posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. Wyln, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
Wyln programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hi, my name is Melania. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
As Montgomery started to grow, bigger businesses started to rise within its boundaries. One of the first truly notable businesses was a distillery opened by P.M. Barber in 1859. He would graduate to a planing mill in 1869 that employed many. One of the more notable businessmen in town, though, was perhaps the one who had the biggest influence in Montgomery in the 1880s. This was Levi Houston. A former native of New Hampshire, Houston came to Montgomery in 1873 and opened the Montgomery Machine Company. Houston bought out his partners not long afterwards and renamed his business the Levi Houston Company. It soon pivoted to making woodworking equipment, a move that proved very successful. 20 years after its founding, Houston's company was the largest of its kind in the world, selling woodworking tools as far away as Australia. Houston tried a revolutionary practice first time, giving workers a half day off on Saturdays but still paying them for a full sixth day. He would, though, back off this approach under pressure from his local business peers. Houston expanded out to other businesses besides his factory. He operated planing mills to get the wood forest products, opened a store named Houston Company, and in 1891 began operation of the Houston Hotel on North Main Street and East Houston Avenue. 5 stories tall and with 30 guest rooms, the hotel featured a bar, billiard room, and reading room among its amenities. A sign with electric lights was hung outside in 1910, the first electric lights in the borough. It would continue operating as a hotel through the 1920s, then was turned into an apartment complex. Levi Houston died in 1892, and his passing was heavily mourned by everyone in Montgomery. He rests today in his native New Hampshire, in Manchester's Pine Grove Cemetery. His woodworking factory would be one of 11 merged together in 1897 to form the American Woodworking Machine Company. Following the Civil War, the National Grange of the Order of Patrons of Husbandry would be founded in 1867 as a response to the damage the war had caused for Southern farmers. The Grange quickly took root as a strong organization for agricultural interests, with its primary aim in its early years being to lower railroad shipping rates, press for rural free delivery from the U.S. Post Office, and otherwise advance farmers' well-being. The rapid growth of the organization would be noticed by Luke Eager, who owned a farm near Williamsport. Eager thought a local grange would be a good idea in the region and proposed the idea to other local farmers, including several near Montgomery. Eagle Grange No. 1, named for nearby Bald Eagle Mountain, would be chartered on March 4, 1871, the very first grange in Pennsylvania. For several years, meetings were held in members' houses and the local Pine Street School. In 1887, Eager sold some of his land to build an official grange headquarters. A 2-story grange hall was subsequently built on the west side of today's Route 15. It would be relocated to the east side in 1940 when the road was widened. Eagle Grange No. 1 remains in operation today. Another Montgomery resident made a name for herself in the late 1880s with her pen. Anna Ryle had been born in town on January 11, 1858. She is a direct descendant of Joseph Reed, who had served as Pennsylvania's de facto governor during the Revolution, in which capacity he had abolished all slavery in the colony. By age 15, Anna had become a published writer, contributing to local newspapers and magazines. Originally using the pen name Madge Ryle, utilizing her middle name Margaretta, she would, after marrying William Finley Braden in 1880, switch to the more lasting name of Mrs. Finley Braden. Under this guise, she would write over 700 poems and serials, many of which would be prominently published in magazines in Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. Among her more prominent poems were Pills at Poughkeepsie, He Fought with Washington, and The Auld Layer's Secret. And fence of scripture faith, she would also write many songs, a book, Something New to Recite, and a play, Convention of Realistic Readers. Beginning in 1888, Braden would be the editor of the monthly magazine Presbyterian Visitor. Fluent in at least 5 dialects, she was also a strong speaker and a graduate of the National School of Elocution and Oratory. Anna Finley Braden died in 1939. She rests today in Doylestown's Doylestown Presbyterian Church Cemetery. Montgomery itself plodded along firmly as the 19th century wound down. Prominent businesses such as the Montgomery Table and Desk Works and the Penn Furniture Company employed many of the town's residents. The Montgomery Mirror newspaper began publication in 1899. It would remain operating through 1944. In 1895, the Montgomery Opera House was built by George Decker. The building also featured a market and grocery store. 3 years later, in 1898, it was set on fire by arsonists using 4 barrels of flaming oil. Firefighters were able to put the blaze out in time, and the building was saved. Decker immediately suspected town resident Henry Nuss, whom he'd been feuding with of late, was behind the attempted arson. He reached out to the Pinkerton Detective Agency, who sent Agent Francis DeMaio, soon to gain fame during his later pursuit of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. DeMaio worked his way into the confidence of Nuss's son Leroy, who then introduced him to the rest of the family. Henry Nuss would eventually admit to DeMaio that he had previously threatened to burn down the Opera House after it had opened, and that he and Leroy had considered blowing it up before going ahead and burning it down. With enough evidence eventually in hand, DeMaio had Henry and Leroy Nuss arrested for arson. Father and son would be convicted, and each served 3 years in Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary.
Hi, my name is Melania. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Cooking rice just isn't nice. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it. The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve. It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed. And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.